Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm round of applause as we welcome Mr. Mathew Daniel to deliver his presidential address.
Good morning to everyone. Well, my duty is to give a presidential address, but when I'm seeing all of you, I don't know where I'm going to start, how I am going to do. So, here I go. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you. His Eminence, Cardinal George Jacob Coacock, His Grace, Thomas Mathew, our Archbishop, our patron, Reverend Dr. George Marathiparambil, Dr. Raju Narayanasamy, an eminent IAS officer from the Kerala government cadre, our principal, Dr. Teddy Kanjuparambil, Reverend Dr. Teddy Kanjuparambil, whom I have been working with very closely, and Dr. Rani Maria, the principal of Assumption College. Today is not just another convention. It is a celebration of our roots, our shared heritage, our lifelong friendships, and our unwavering commitment of two Kerala's most prestigious colleges, SB College, or we call it St. Bergman's College, and Assumption College. As a chairman of the St. Bergman's and Assumption Colleges North America Convention, which we are celebrating here today, it is both an honor and a deeply emotional privilege to stand before you today. Looking around the magnificent gathering here we have, I realize that many of you have not been seeing each other for at least 30, 40, or even 50 years. The wonderful thing about alumni reunion is that we will recognize each other instantly, even if our hair doesn't. The young boys, when we were there at 15 to 20 years or 22 years, a lot of them have become bald. And then when you look at them, you say, is this the right guy? And this is where we are all trying to understand each other. The wonderful thing about one thing, we all have changed our hairstyles. Some even have changed their careers. A few have simply changed waistlines because they might have put on more weight. And one thing has never changed, our love to St. Bergman's College and Assumption College. I extend my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you who has traveled from the different parts of the United States, Canada, and India. And your presence demonstrates, although thousands of miles separate us geographically, our hearts remain forever connected to our beloved alma mater. Today we gather not merely as alumni, but as one family. Our slogan today is one family, one legacy, one future. A journey back in time. Allow me to go back 50 years ago when I walked into St. Bergman's College way back in 1974. From 1974 to 1976, I always honor that I had the privilege of studying for my pre-degree at St. Bergman's College. And soon after that, I went for my engineering program. These 2 years transformed my life forever. Like many of you, I arrived as a young student carrying dreams, hopes, and uncertainties. I had the privilege of staying in St. Thomas Hostel. Whoever is there knows that a hostel, and which became my second home. The hostel was far more than a place to sleep. It was where lifelong friendships were born. It was where we learned discipline, responsibility, teamwork, compassion, respect, and the importance of living together as one family. I remember the days our warden used to be Father James Villibarambil on St. Thomas, and my teacher and beloved Reverend Dr. George Marathiparambil was the warden of St. Joseph's Hostel. Today, Father James Wellibaram is not with us. He passed away in a boat accident in the lakes in our block lake in the Kuttanad area. Very nice visionary. And I remember the days when Dr. George Marthipam, our beloved principal, also my teacher, he taught me English in 1974. A very young man with very black hair and vibrant. There were two handsome priests at that time. One was Dr. George Marthipam, the other was Dr. Marur, who was a warden of Joseph Marur, who was the warden of Sahardiya Hostel. We learned a lot of things at that time. And I remember the day when Father James Wellibaram, passed away in the tragic accident. I know the consoling how all the other wardens came, like right from the principal at that time, Dr. Anthony Kurialasheri, and then Parva Paramilachan, and a lot of people, and not to forget Father Mathew who was our vice principal. The days were good, and then our warden was Dr. Isaac Alanjeri, a very nice, soft-spoken person. I think all of you know who has gone through Syria classes. He was the man, and also Basar Chavreachan. So just going back on what we have done in the hostel, the evenings we are there for studying, the early morning prayers, the conversation with friends that stretched late into the night. Back then we didn't have the WhatsApp, we didn't have Google, and certainly no ChatGPT to help us to finish our assignments. What we had something even better were good friends who generously shared their notes, especially right before the examinations. Looking back, those friendships became far more valuable than the marks we scored. The guidance from our wardens, teachers, the challenges, the dreams we shared, those memories remain as fresh today as they were half a century ago. During the time when I was doing the pre-degree was the emergency declaration by our late Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and there was a lot of chaos at that time. We went through that, we were able to overcome everything, and there was a say at that time, which I always like to point out. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So that was the motto we had, and that was the thing we followed. Believe in yourself, think positive, be optimistic, and move forward. So that lessons I learned inside the classrooms of SP College and within the walls of St. Thomas Hostel became the foundation upon which I built my professional career and my personal life. For that, I remain forever grateful. Let's go back to the legacy of St. Buckman's College. St. Buckman's College was established in 1922 by the Venerable Mar Thomas Kurialasheri. The college grew from a visionary dream into Kerala's oldest and most respected institutions of higher learning. Its timeless motto, Caritas Vera Nobilitas.